Good evening from Mornington, Australia. Mornington is in the Mornington Peninsula, and this is the main street in Mornington, and it's a beautiful day. And after sitting in the home for the last several days under somewhat gray skies, and the sky opened up today to the beautiful blue sky you see, I thought I'd go out for a little bit of a walk and talk, and I decided to take the short drive down here to Mornington, and I'm standing at the corner of Blake Street. Blake Street and Corner. Blake Street connected the railway station to the main street when the railway came to Mornington in 1889. From the early 1900s, there was a store on the corner of Railway Grove offering real estate and cab services. Later, the Mrs. Beatty offered refreshments and a library. I'm not going to go into the whole story that I'm reading on there, but this right here would be Blake Street, and I'm assuming that just down there probably would have been the railway station. So what I'm going to do is, I just wanted to get out of the house, to be quite honest with you, and get a little bit of exercise. And I actually walked down here to Mornington, or I drove down here rather, trying to find the police station. And I was hoping to get some information as far as, what I'm able to do insofar as traveling or not. I want to make a drive up to Costco on my way to my new destination in a couple days, and I just wanted some clarity, if you will, on driving up there to Costco before heading down to a small town further down the peninsula called Rye, as in rye bread. So I'm just going to do a little walk and talk. And as you can see, just about everything here is closed with the exception of I see some of the restaurants are open with takeout orders here. But Mornington is actually it's a rather nice town. If I'm not mistaken, it's the biggest town on the Mornington Peninsula. I could be mistaken, but I think it's the largest town on the Mornington Peninsula. There's another town called Frankston, Frankston, that's just a little bit further up. And I don't know if that's actually bigger. But I've been spending the past 2 weeks in a wonderful home in a community called Mount Eliza. And Mount Eliza is it's a rather upscale little community, or seemingly so. Probably about 10 minutes from where I'm walking and talking right now here in Mornington. Here's a Mexican restaurant. You can see they're just all boarded up. So it's really a beautiful day. It's autumn down here. The date is I believe April 13th, 2020 as I'm filming this. And I'm just going to see if I can't find my way down to the beach, where they've got some, I think they call them beach boxes, and they've got the pier, with a lot of boats. And maybe I can take the drone up as I show you this apartment complex right there. I'll actually stop and give it a pause and let you have a little bit of a closer look. Really seems like a nice town. Where I've been staying, Mount Eliza, has been absolutely ideal. They have a very, very small little town center, and the rest of the town, as much as I could see, is pretty much residential area with some parks and schools and some professional offices scattered about. So I think I've found my way almost down to the end of Main Street here, if that's in fact what this is called. I believe it's called Main Street. Here you see some of Australia's finest coming by in their fire truck. Unlike in the United States where you dial 911 for emergency, down here you dial 000, so it's 000 down where you it's 000 down there where you are down here in Australia. So I'm just gonna, it's actually the police that were honking at me, interestingly enough. I think maybe because I was walking in the street. So actually it'd be a good opportunity to stop and ask them. So I'll see you at the beach. All right, so oh goodness gracious, so those were the police, and I was able to talk to them and get my questions answered. And boy, I gotta tell you, it's pretty lucky that they didn't throw me in this place. This is the Mornington Petty Station Courthouse and Lockup. And this building here, I'm not quite sure when this building was actually built. Let's see if it says on the sign here. It was built in 1860 for 892 pounds by William Vaughn and Company. So this was the courthouse and the lockup down here in the 1800s that you can see. So just across the street is the park, and I'm gonna go see if I can't find my way over to the park. Boy, what a beautiful night it is. And here you see a memorial to a football team that drowned off the shore here, the Mornington football team in 1892. I'm sure you could Google that and get some information, but there was a little information card or sign over to the left of the memorial with some of the details about the tragedy that happened back in 1892. And look at the scene here. Just beautiful. Coming right out to the pier. And there's a sign saying that the beach is closed. So no beach, but there seems to be a path that goes along here. And that's what I'm gonna see if I can't do, is just go and walk along the path. This is actually where I did a video of the Mornington Peninsula some time back. And boy, if you look off in the distance real close, or maybe I can zoom, there's actually Melbourne, I believe, if I can come in a little bit. So just off in the distance there, you see the wonderful city of Melbourne. So I'm gonna see if I can't walk a little bit on this path and bring you along, and somewhere I'm gonna launch the drone. I found my way to just a wonderful spot, and there are some people out walking on the beach. I don't know if they're supposed to or not, but you can see the beach boxes, and I'm gonna choose this as the spot to start my drone flight and give you some nice try to give you some nice footage. There's actually a guy out there on a paddleboard, you can see. Maybe I'll be able to capture him on the flight as well. Was that wonderful or what? I didn't expect to see a sunset, but boy, that was one of the more beautiful sunsets I've seen in a while. And to think that I'm here for another 2 weeks at least, and I'm moving up to a little place down the peninsula called Rye, as in rye bread. I think I mentioned that earlier. And in doing so, I find myself thinking that that I'm going to be able to see a sunset like that almost every night. That there's a sky such as you see tonight. So, in closing, wrapping up the video, I'll share this memorial with you. Not quite sure the memorial. I'm sure I can look it up, or you can look on Google Maps and see. But there's a plaque here. You can see, and the plaque says, to mark the bicentenary, and boy, that's a 50-cent word, of the birthplace of Captain Matthew Flinders. This plaque was unveiled by the Honorable Sir Henry Wynecke, Lieutenant Governor and Chief Justice of Victoria, on the 17th of March, 74, I believe, 74. And you can see they've got all the different directions there where you can go the kilometers to the different spots. Now here is Portsea, and here's Sorrento, and Rye is right here. So there is Rye, and that's where I'm going to be for the next 2 weeks. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful evening. I'll give you a nice shot of the memorial. Actually, it says right here on the front. There you go. Matthew Flinders, navigator, 1774 to 1814, commander of the HMS Investigator. There you go. Look at that. I'll let you read it for just a moment. Isn't that something? So there you have it. I'm starting to feel like an Aussie, you know? I really am. Starting to feel like I'm where I belong.